Okay, so today I will be informing you on the history and the evolution of fairy tales. We have all heard the stories and watched the movies, hopefully. If you haven't, come and call me and we will have a Disney day. But did you know that they were not originally the same happily ever after stories they are today? Disney fairy tales such as Cinderella and Snow White have come a long way since in the past 200 years and prior to that. The timeline of our typical now fairy tales they used to be European oral traditions. So they were just passed down from generation to generation orally, like just stories that like their grandfathers used to tell them, and then they used to tell their kids and then their kids. So in 1812, Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm, we all know of the Grimm brothers, as well as others like Christian Andersen and Jean-Marie Le Prince de Beaumont. I mentioned him because I'll mention him later. He wrote, or she, I don't know what Jean is, but they wrote my favorite Disney movie. They began to write their own versions, like write them down, so that next generations can actually have a hard copy of them. In 1922, Walt Disney began spinning the infamous Grimm stories, beginning with Little Red Riding Hood. He started writing the famous ones like Snow White in 1937 and so on. After that was Cinderella, all that. So, one major difference is the Grimm brothers wrote Grimm stories. So they were not happy fairy tales that we have. One, really the most accurate current depiction that I have known and seen of the Grimm stories is Into the Woods. And has anybody not seen Into the Woods? No. Okay, good. It's an amazing movie. You should go and watch it. But so a difference. I'm just going to tell one story. Cinderella. So we all know the typical story Cinderella, where the two stepsisters they try on the shoe because Cinderella is not there. Well, in the Disney movie, they try it on, doesn't fit, whatever, that's okay. But in Into the Woods, it's kind of different, very different. And this is not exactly the Grimm story. I have it here, but it would take way too long to read it to you. So we are going to watch.
Careful my toes, darling, I know. Not only do I have to go, but when you're as bright, you can sit, or
Sorry
you'll never need to walk.
Darkness.
Minus one toe, Florinda mounted the prince's horse, unaware of the blood dripping from the slipper. Lucinda was next.
Why won't it fit? Darling, be still. Cut off a bit of the heel and it will. And when you're as white, you'll have such a life, you'll never need to walk.
Okay, so, how do you get that? There we go. Okay, so the Grimm story is different, obviously. Instead of just trying on the shoe, they actually cut off a toe. They cut off a heel of both of the sisters, and then it was then that the prince realized that that was not Cinderella. I don't know why he did it before, but so then Walt Disney took over with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs in 1937. He redid that. Cinderella in 1950. The Little Mermaid was written by Christian Andersen, my bad, in 1989 and redone by Walt Disney in 1989. And my personal favorite, Beauty and the Beast, which was the long French name that I read before, in 1991. And so this is when Walt Disney took over and made them all the fairy tales we know and love with happy ever afters. And these are my sources.
Good job, kid.